Ever since a young boy, I've been getting buckets. Ever since a young boy, I've been getting buckets. Pull it back, Kobe. Pull it back, Kobe. Switch. I don't even gotta look. I take the shot in here. Switch. I don't even touch the rim. When I pull up, it's just switch. Backboard wet. Only thing I know is switch. Pull it back, Kobe.
Rest in peace to the Mamba and baby Gigi. Still remember where I was standing after the 3-peat. Fro was lined up yelling Kobe, but playing Pee-wee. Well, you know that shoot the freebie right after they tear Achilles. Killer, number 8 was crazy, but 24 was scary. Respect his name, or else he might show up as Bloody Mary. Won't forget the things he mentioned, how to get a Larry. Whatever necessary, he tried to help prepare me. They tell us never look in the eyes of a killer. I did it out respect for the greatest at Staples Center.
Ever since a young boy, I've been getting buckets. Ever since a young boy, I've been getting buckets. Pull it back, Kobe. Pull it back, Kobe. Switch. I don't even gotta look. I take the shot in here. Switch. I don't even touch the rim. When I pull up, it's just switch. Backboard wet. Only thing I know is switch. Pull it back, Kobe.
Rest in peace to the Mamba and baby Gigi. Still remember where I was standing after the 3-peat. Fro was lined up yelling Kobe, but playing Pee-wee. Well, you know that shoot the freebie right after they tear Achilles. Killer, number 8 was crazy, but 24 was scary. Respect his name, or else he might show up as Bloody Mary. Won't forget the things he mentioned, how to get a Larry. Whatever necessary, he tried to help prepare me. They tell us never look in the eyes of a killer. I did it out respect for the greatest at Staples Center.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another show of Red Cup Rants. I'm your girl, LDZ Fashizi.
Yo,
We got Boom coming, we got Dre, and we got Phil. What is up, fellas?
what's good? What's good?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? How's everything? Everything's good?
Yeah, hanging in there.
Yeah, man. It's been a very very emotional and long emotional day today. 1 year. I can't even believe it's been a year, honestly. Yeah. So I've been watching Kobe highlights all day. I watched this 60-point game just recently, so yeah, it's unreal, surreal, but yeah, I still can't believe it.
I still can't believe it to this
I
day.
still can't believe it. It's one of those, you know what they say, when something like that happens, the world stands still for a couple seconds. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I agree. What is
Yeah.
up, everybody? That is in our comments already. This today was just these last 2 days are emotional personally.
Mhm.
Um, Yesterday made the 4-year anniversary of my little brother's death. And then here we are today with Kobe anniversary to Kobe's death. And I can still kind of remember where I was and how I even learned about his passing. It was crazy. And I it hurt me to lose a brother. I can't imagine to lose a spouse and a kid on the at the same time.
Mhm.
I can't. Like my heart still goes for Vanessa to this day, and it was hard for me to make that video that was played. If you did not catch the video, we posted a video just to do a remembrance by. It will be posted on our pages, on Red Cup Rants and Streaker Prohibited pages, in probably about like 20 minutes.
Mhm.
So please check that out. But it was really hard for me to make that video. I'm gonna be honest, because I started tearing up looking for pictures, especially with Gigi.
Yeah.
I get emotional when it comes to, kids.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
really is.
Whew.
And like I said, I wasn't really a Kobe fan when he first came in the league. I thought he was trying to be too much like Michael, but over the years, it's kind of like how I am with LeBron. Over the years, I just respected what that man did, not only for the game, but just the impact he had as a person.
Yeah.
I know he kind of had a bad rep because the things he was doing with Shaq and the whole his his reputation as being a ball hog, but you can't deny what that man did for the game and what he did outside the game. And after he retired, he was basically going to just transcend the game even higher. So it's unfortunate that it happened, and my prayers goes out to his family, and just to see the love from the NBA community, just the sports community in general, it was all love, man. You lost a great like that, and it was tough. It was tough, man. It was tough. So um, it's like I said before, and I'll say it again. When Michael Jeffrey Jordan goes, just put out an APB for me because I'll probably be laying in bed all day not answering calls if he ever decides to go.
You already know my two.
Yep, Michael
Yadier,
Jordan.
Yadier and Vince. It's gonna
Yeah,
even be worse.
yeah. Jordan, Dion, and Mike Tyson. If any one of those go, you might have to come find me.
Yeah. Even if I'm already preparing if Yachty don't get signed soon, him retiring, I'm gonna cry. So
Yeah.
this is
So
it's gonna be an ugly cry if something happens to him.
yeah.
Um, but I will say the positive things about Kobe. That song that Dame wrote, it was like every kid's dream. Literally, when they were doing that jump shot, they yelled out Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially if they were a huge fan of him, and it was crazy. Everybody. It wasn't just one of us. It was like four or five, six of us doing it especially trying to do a shot,
Mm-hmm.
doing that leg kick that he does. Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely. So he'll be missed. He'll definitely be missed, and we will. He's a legend. Probably one of the greatest to ever play. So, and I'm pretty sure when it's time for him to finally, get enshrined into the Hall of Fame, it's going to be a very emotional day. I don't know who's going to do his speech for him. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that'll come to mind. But right now, it's just like you said, it's a celebration. It's not more of him passing away. It's a mourning. It's more of a celebration of a great guy, and a great basketball player, just a great human being all around. So like I said, it took me a while for me to come around to Kobe because, like I said, I thought he was trying to be too much like MJ. But if you look at it now, I think he's probably the closest to being Michael Jordan.
Like in the Last Dance, he said, "Well, what you get from me, it's from him."
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's in his own words. But
Hmm.
like you said, it's a celebration. I want to just say the best moments of Kobe for me is when it was the Lakers versus the San Antonio Spurs, especially when they had the the Twin Towers, David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and Kobe would just drive down the lane and dunking on him. I mean, that right there is so I said, man, this is a different cat. Like it's like how when Jordan finally beefed up and went at the Detroit Pistons to get over that hump.
Hmm.
That's what this was, the Kobe's moment, and that's where it just exploded.
Hmm.
And then to win three straight, skip a year, and come back and win another back to back. that tells you from that point on, he was different. He was gonna do whatever it takes to win the game. I mean, that was one of my favorite series to watch. Lakers
Yeah.
and the Spurs.
My
Because
favorite series.
those
go
were
ahead.
those were the top two teams in the West at that time.
Hmm.
So you did not want to miss that series. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, mine definitely was 2010 when they played the Celtics, and it was Game 7. And they played Game 7, and Kobe had the game of his life because I think they was down 14, and it looked like Boston was going to run away with it. Then Kobe just went into Mamba mode. I think he finished with like 42 points and like 15 rebounds. You know, that showed me right there that he had that. You know, he had the skill, but that just showed the will to win. The same we saw from a Michael Jordan. You just will your team to victory. And then also you can't forget the 81 point game. That I think when I was watching that game, you could just tell that something special was going to happen. Just the way he was scoring the ball and just the way that his game just elevated. You could tell, like I didn't even like usually I'll flip the channel to another something else and I'll watch something else then come back. I didn't flip the channel one time. I literally sat there glued to my seat and just watched it, like just to see how he was just scoring at will and just basically taking over a game. That's when I started kind of getting that respect for him, and I really started to say, this guy's going to be special. Like I didn't really care for him too much because I thought he was going to be a Jordan clone, but you could kind of tell the differences between their games when you could see where he was going as far as his basketball career. So
Yes, I was. Phil,
Yes.
would you like to add anything, sir?
Um, when I was watching, I hated to see the guy in the finals because I just automatically knew he would win. I hated seeing him in the finals, but I had such an appreciation for his game and what he did for the organization of the Lakers, getting traded there at first, being a Charlotte Hornet at first, and then being traded there, and he just really he really revitalized that franchise. He and Shaquille O'Neal um, did wonderful things together, and that's their time and stint with LA. I think one of my moments where I was in awe was the 81 point game. I was just like, okay, that's not real. Like you can't tell me this one guy is schooling any and every defender that was thrown at him. No one slowed him down, and I think that he kept playing, he probably could have had 100+ points. Um, he was very, very skilled, very dynamic, explosive when he was younger. And then as he got older, he started to be more methodical, going in the post, mid-range jumpers, playing around the basket, but he was effective. Um, and then another moment for me, his last game. Like, who does that for their last game? Most people just come in and just play because it's the last game just to play, but to go and be competitive like he was and coming out like that, that was just something to marvel over. He is missed for the game, and it's very tragic. And I told people, I was like, no, he lived his life. He lived his life. The thing that was saddening for me was his daughter, Gigi. She had not even begun to live life. And to just pass away like that in like a tragic event like that. And the rest of the families that lost their loved ones too. And I can't forget them either. That was very, very tragic. Unseen, not predicted, unheard of. And like I said, he'll be missed as well as the rest that are passed on. Like I said, when I saw him, when I saw it, it was on Facebook. And for me, you know how I feel about Facebook. Everybody tries to kill everybody off on Facebook. Everybody's just dead on Facebook. So I thought it was a joke. I literally thought it was a joke. wasn't real, and then go and ESPN pops up, you see Kobe Bryant has passed away in a tragic plane crash. I'm like, wow, the first time Facebook actually got it right. And then I was like, okay, I was like, wow, it's sad, it's Kobe. And then when he said his daughter was on the plane with him, that's when I was just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's one thing to lose a husband and a spouse, but it's another. That's a different type of hurt when you have to bury a child.
Yeah.
That's a different type of hurt.
Yeah.
Burying your parents or a friend or uncle or something like it hurts, yeah. But burying a child who had not even begun to live life, that's where it hurts the most. That's where it hits the most. And I just thought, I was just saddened by that. That's just, this child had not even begun her life. She really hasn't. Who knows? And I tell everybody, who knows? Had she gotten older, we could have been seeing the next great phenomenon in the WNBA. You never know.
Oh,
Yeah.
She was already skilled. She was shooting like him. She had to step back. She had to jumper like him. And I said, wow. I was like, this is one of those things where you just never know. And you can't, I tell everybody, you can't take life for granted at all. Every single second is precious. Every moment.
Definitely. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think she had a scholarship offer to go to UConn.
Yep.
Yeah, she had an offer to to go there. And I also want to say that as a parent, that is your worst fear. Seeing your child in that type of fear, knowing those are your last seconds of your life and you can't do nothing about it. I can't even imagine that as a parent, knowing what was going through Kobe's mind when that was happening, knowing that this is it, and you can't do nothing to save your child. That has to be the worst feeling.
Didn't they say that he was holding her?
Yeah, they say he was holding her. So that's got to be as a parent. That has to be the worst feeling in the world. Yep. It really is, knowing that you can't do anything for your child.
That, like I said, these 2 days are going to probably be the roughest days of my life for the rest of my life. It was hard. Thank God for my husband and my son, especially yesterday. It's emotional. It's an emotional day, but not to ruin the moment of Kobe, because we love Kobe, but we are going to talk about other things on this show. We are going to talk about the conference championships and Super Bowl that is coming up on Phil's birthday whenever he comes back, February 7th. First, but there is a birthday today. Vince Carter's birthday is today.
That's your boy.
Yeah.
That's your boy. We gonna speak it into existence. We gonna get him on the show just for you. I'm gonna speak it to the existence now. I'm gonna speak it into existence. You know what? If we get him on the show, I'm not even gonna be on. I'm just gonna be in the background and let you have it. Because I know if he comes on the show, I'm not even gonna get a chance to answer or ask anything. So
I'm muting everybody.
I'm not even.
We're bringing it into existence.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna be like, you got to BFF. You need me, I'll be backstage. That's something. But as far as Vince, hell of a player. I remember the team he was on, the North Carolina. That team, the '95 North Carolina team, was the biggest what if in college basketball because they had the talent. I mean, they were stacked. They had Jameson, Ed Cota, Vince Carter, Sean May. They had the team. They had the team, and everybody picked them to basically run through the tournament, and then they get to the Final Four and lose to Utah, which I still don't believe how they lost to Utah.
I still don't know how.
With Michael Doliak, I don't understand how they lost that game, but that's like Phil says all the time. You have to play the game. You can't play the game on paper, but to see him you know, just to see what kind of player he was. And then, you know, he gets into the NBA. He sets the world on fire with that masterpiece slam dunk contest, which I still watch on YouTube to this day. Just to see how he just revolutionized. Well, he didn't. I don't want to say revolution the guy. He kind of brought that swagger back. You know,
He made dunking fun again. Like everybody, we have them every few years. You're sitting here like, and then there's somebody comes out and you're like, oh my god, yeah. And Vince was that dude.
And the funny thing about it is they canceled the slam dunk contest the 2 years, and then when Vince got drafted, they brought the slam dunk contest back just for him to dunk it. And he put on the show like,
Sam said at the same time.
He just brought it back just for him, and he put on the show like, I mean, it's funny when it's crazy when you have a guy like Shaq who normally talks a lot. He was speechless. That just lets you know what kind of player he was. And then you can't forget the Eastern Conference Finals, that epic duel that he had with Allen Iverson. Like they went toe to toe. I didn't want nobody to lose, but you know, it had to be a winner, and you know, eventually Iverson went on to, you know, to the finals. But that duel he had with Allen Iverson in the Eastern Conference Finals will always be one of my favorite series because you had two great young players, you know, especially after Jordan retired. You know, they were looking for they was looking for the next great young player. And you had Kobe, you had T-Mac, but those two, Iverson and Vince Carter, they really put on a show. Like, I think both of them had like 50-point games, and I think Iverson had 54 in game one, and Vince had like 51 in game two. So, I mean, it was epic. Like every game. Yeah. I think they went the whole 7. I think they went full 7 games, but
I think they did.
Just to see that let me know how he, you know, and then, you know, to be the only player to play four different decades and could be a consistent, you know, nobody had a bad word to say about Vince at all. He was a consummate professional. I mean, even though he wasn't the same player he was when he played for my Hawks, just the fact that everybody that I knew within the Hawks organization didn't have a bad thing to say about Vince. The players loved him, the fans loved him, the media loved him, you know. So I mean,
signed him. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Hawks.
And I'm happy for hopefully he gets a coaching job. If he pursues that, if he gets a coaching job, he brings a lot to the game. So, you know, I can go on and on and on about Vince. He's a great man, great player. And like I said, if we get him on the show, man, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let my BFF handle it.
Yeah, man. Because it was funny because I lived in Orlando and he was with the Magic, and then I moved here. The next year, he comes here, and I'm like, this is destiny. It was destiny. I
was not gonna let that happen. Sorry.
I didn't still gonna meet him.
Bull said shut it down.
Yeah, I'm still going to meet him. If I got a chance to meet him, any opportunity, you know, there are some people that I wouldn't be starstruck over. He is probably one. You know, I met, you know, Jim Brown. I've met Penny Hardaway. I've met several players. I've met, you know, a lot of football players. Orlando Pace that played for the Rams, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt. I've met all of them.
Well, that was back when the Rams were St. Louis.
Greatest show on turf. Yeah, you know, Pace is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, definitely. He was one of the great tackles of the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I know all of them, but to see him, to see Vince, I might need a minute. You know, like somebody else might need to be there because they'd be like,
I'll be backstage
for a second.
But I actually got a chance to see him when I went to Vegas for the Summer League, and I was at least trying to get a picture with him, but you know, he was always on the move, and you know how fans are, so I didn't really want to bother him. But I actually saw him, and he was a good dude. Like, I mean, he spoke to people, but considering where I was sitting at, I knew I wouldn't have a chance. But I actually saw him, and like I said, I hope he does get a coaching opportunity if he pursues that, or a media job. Like right now, I'm pretty sure he's calling the Hawks game right now. So wherever he goes, whatever he decides to do, he's going to pretty much do what he did in basketball. He's going to excel in it.
Of course. But let's move on. Conference championship. Which game do you gentlemen want to talk about first?
Well, we can start with the NFC championship game. We can start with that one.
Let's start with the Chiefs and Bills.
So Chiefs and
Okay.
Bills. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's start
Because
with
it's the easiest.
Yeah, it's the easiest, and it will not hurt anyone's feelings.
No, it wouldn't. I will say this. I know the big question mark going into that game was
Patrick Mahomes.
how Patrick Mahomes is going to perform. Well, he looked like the Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback that we came to see. Like, he was the turf toe. I know he had turf toe and the concussion problem, but he was moving and he looked normal to me. So I mean, and that offense was clicking. But you know what? We all know about the offense. Of course, we know about the offense of the Chiefs, but how about that defense? I said it, and LaDonna said it. LaDonna said it plenty of times as well. Josh Allen was playing the best football that was not named Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen was playing some pretty good ball, and that defense had him flustered that whole game. Like, I mean, he still made plays, but that defense, that's why Chris Jones got paid $20 million. That's why the Honey Badger came over and they signed him to that deal. Brashard Breeland and Frank Clark, they had pieces to they didn't really, they're not really like a numbers defense. They kind of remind me of the 09 Saints. Don't really have a good defense on paper, but they're very opportunistic with turnovers and getting pressure on the quarterback. And I said it when they was playing. The Chiefs defense always seemed to get peak at the right time. That's what they did last year. Yeah, they did shut down Diggs. How many catches Diggs had? Like 2 or 3?
Two, like 14 yards, 20. It was something.
It wasn't typical Diggs numbers. I think he had like under 20 yards, and I think he only had 2 or 3 catches. I want to say, but they were very opportunistic. And it was just like I said, it was just like last year. Didn't really have a good defense last year, but when it came playoff time, they made the plays to win games. And then, like I said, you give Mahomes all them opportunities to get the ball back.
He had 6 receptions, 77 yards. And I think he got those last 2, like 3
garbage time.
In garbage time.
Like garbage. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
and then like I said, you give the ball to Patrick Mahomes, the defense to give you 3 and outs, you're not going to keep up. And I said it. I said the Bills could be a threat to the Chiefs. I didn't say they were going to win, and apparently, Patrick Mahomes looks like the young gunslinging. He looks fine to me. So and then I think the Super Bowls, they get a 2-week period, so I'm pretty sure he'll get plenty of rest from the concussion and the turf toe. But he looked good to me, and they're getting some weapons back. Sammy Watkins is coming back. Le'Veon Bell is coming back, so that's just even more weapons they're going to have. So. Yep. It's right now. Like I said the Chiefs will be my Super Bowl winner, regardless of who comes out the NFC, and I'm sticking with that.
I think in this Chiefs and Bills game, I think the Bills held it back. They played too conservative. They played way too slow, and you don't play slow against the Chiefs. You have to get going. I mean, after the first 7 minutes of the game, I was like, "Oh my God, the Bills gonna run them over," because they went down the field, they scored a field goal, then they got that punt return,
the myth punt recovery. Yeah.
Right at the goal line, I was like, "Oh my God, this is how Browns and Steelers game started, and Browns were off." So I thought this was gonna be Bills. Just that right there was that was the 8. Mm-hmm. They're gone. But when the Chiefs got the ball back, the very first play, what they do, they give the ball to Hardman, and there he goes, 71 yards. So it's
and brought his confidence back.
And then of course you have Tyreek Hill, who is just fucking insane. He has much as he runs during his routes, it doesn't seem like he gets tired. It
At
just
all.
doesn't seem because it just seems like he's at the same speed from the very first play of the game to the last. I mean, it is insane. And then of course you got Travis Kelce. Didn't he set the record for most catches in a half? And then
Yes.
finished with 13 catches for 100 something yards and a few touchdowns.
Best tight end in the league.
It is insane with all these weapons that they have, and of course, don't forget they did have some injuries in that game. So hopefully they're all okay and be good. But I know they're going to be gone. The Chiefs are going to be gone with their starting.
Yeah, Fisher's out with Achilles.
Yeah.
Eric Fisher.
So-
That's going to be big because
Well-
Tampa does like to rush the quarterback. So losing Fisher to the Achilles injury, that's huge.
But when Fisher did come in, he held his own against the Bills defense. I mean,
Definitely.
They are good,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see against Sue and
Barrett and JPP. Yeah, that's a good front seven that Tampa has.
So we'll
And
see
then
against them. But this game, it started off great for Bills, and then just with the flip of the switch, it was all Chiefs.
way too conservative. And then I said this last week, what they cannot do, the Bills can't start off slow like they did against the Ravens. And I said that it was because, and I even text y'all at the half and said they are doing exactly what I said not to do, and they did it.
Yeah,
and
there you go, right there. Kelce set the record for 13 receptions, and then Hill set the record for receiving yards, 171.
Yeah,
This is
there was.
It's like Sam said. How the hell you leave Kelce so wide open? It seemed like every time Kelce had the ball, he was by himself.
I don't know if you guys heard the stat. They basically were the worst team. I thought we were the worst team to cover a tight end. The Bills defense was the worst team to cover a tight end.
And honestly, I saw that when they played the Ravens. Mark Andrews was running freely in that Ravens game. It's just the fact that Lamar Jackson couldn't give him the ball. But
exactly.
that was one weakness that the Bills are in. They're terrible at covering tight ends, and the Chiefs. The Chiefs love going to their tight ends. So
I thought I thought the Cowboys were the worst because we had the worst defense, and I know we can't cover a tight end to save our life. But when they said that during that game Sunday, I was just like, Kelce is going to kill them. And sure enough, Kelce, they picked on it.
He was wide open. It's just like he was running freely down the field.
Yeah, they watched tape. I will give it to the Chiefs. They watched tape perfectly on this team from offense to defensive side, both sides of the ball, because like y'all said, there was no way Kelce should have been open. Right. There's no way that you allow not just Hill to kill you, but you allowed Hardman to kill you.
And you know what? Honestly, I'm glad Hardman got his confidence back because I know he was devastated about that missed punt. And the fact that Mahomes went to him early and often to get that confidence back, that says a whole lot right there. That shows you the kind of leader and team player that Mahomes is.
Exactly. And like I said, I give it up to them. This next challenge, I'm not saying the Chiefs won't win, but it's just a different ball game when you're playing that man.
Yeah. And granted, they played. And first thing I want to say, yes, the Bills was up 9-0, but it kind of reminded me of that Texans game last year when the Texans was up 24-0, and then I called, like I said, when Patrick Mahomes activated what I call God mode, and the Chiefs just went off. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they went on 42 points, straight points.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the fact of the matter is, it's like you and LaDonna said. It's like you and LaDonna said. You can't kick field goals. You can't start off slow because if you start off slow with Kansas City, they're going to basically run you out the stadium.
Well, if
Mhm.
you start off slow against the Chiefs, you better bring the fucking defense and stop them at
Yeah.
all costs, because they will and can score a touchdown at any given moment,
Mm-hmm.
and it is going to be once they do that, once they figure out, hey, this is what they're doing on defense, and this is what we can do to counter it, it's
Mhm.
over for you. So
Pretty much,
This
if
comment right here is like the truth.
basically. And it goes back to what I said last night. If they could stay healthy, consistent, and keep all the players happy with as far as money wise, they could become the Golden State Warriors of the NFL.
yeah,
Mhm.
they brought every single one of their starters on offense came back from last
Yeah,
year. So
yeah.
if they,
So
I'd imagine it's going to be harder for them to do that after their season is over.
mhm.
But if they do it again, it's going to be a three-peat.
Yeah, I don't like I said, if they stay together and fully healthy, I don't see anybody, especially because with a lot of the old guys retiring. I mean, I know Breeze is retiring. Rodgers said he doesn't know, and Tom Brady might play one more year, depending on if he gets extended or not. Once those guys leave, it's pretty much wide open. And I think right now the way that, and you gotta give a shout out to the Chiefs front office, like the way they assembled this team together with a great coach in Andy Reid. I don't really see nobody knocking off Kansas City no time soon. Like I said, they could become the Golden State Warriors and basically just own the NFL. Like it's you got a quarterback that's playing like that, and then like I said, you got all those weapons, and you got a great, like you said, you got a great play caller in Andy Reid, who basically I call him the quarterback whisperer because every quarterback he sees to put his hands on, he makes them good. I mean, he made Kevin Cobb a MVP type quarterback, and Donovan. We already know the stories with Donovan McNabb. So it seems like every quarterback that Andy Reid puts his hands on, he makes them pretty much great. And then we all knew the talent with Mahomes. I mean, we saw him in college, and
Yeah.
to see what he's doing now, and he has. And the scary part is the most scariest part is he hasn't even hit his prime yet. That's the crazy part. He hasn't even hit his prime yet. So we don't even know what he, we don't even know
This
what
is
his
year 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
year
is his
3.
third
Yeah,
year.
so
He's
we-
already
yeah.
this is his third year. He's already won the MVP. He's going to his second Super Bowl. He's played in 3 straight AFC Championship games. Like his trajectory is like, you know what I'm saying? And granted, he's had his share of injuries. He's had his share of injuries, but they haven't been career derailing. So I mean, it's
We're
gonna be
about to
crazy.
talk about the Bucks in a second, and that's what Joseph just made a good point, and Jason just made up a good point. We will talk about the Bucks in a second. We have not got there yet, but we are talking. We were just wanted to recap. We are talking about the KC and Bills game. We felt like this game was easier to talk about, of
Mhm.
course, because the next game, I know
That's a lot.
Kevin,
It's a
cover
lot.
your ears.
It's a
Kevin, just cover your ears, boo. Walk away.
it's a lot to unpack from that game. Like I have
Yeah.
so many questions about that game. I have
And maybe
so
we
many
can get some. Maybe our listeners can provide answers.
maybe they can provide it.
Me and LaDonna, we have a question, and we looked at each other when this happened during the game. We looked at each other and said, "Why didn't he just run for the end zone?" Thank you.
Yeah, he should have.
Why would you try to throw it into double coverage? You have a wide open lane to that pylon in the end zone.
Right. And the crazy
why would you not run it?
and to
I
everybody
am confused.
and to everybody that said, "Oh, he would have got knocked out or he would have scored the end zone," it's the NFC Championship game. At least you got to try. If it was a meaningless game or a preseason game, I understand it. But when you got a Super Bowl berth on the line, you gotta go all out. You have to. And even if you don't get the touchdown, you still are like first and goal at maybe the 2 at the 3. You know, he should have. And then on top of that, you were only down 8. So if you scored a touchdown, you can go for the 2-point conversion to tie it. So I mean, you know, I know people say, "Oh, you got to look out for player safety," but if that was me, if I'm the quarterback and I got a wide open lane like that, I'm going to run it. If I get knocked out, so be it. So be it. I get knocked out, so be it. You gotta lay it all out there.
You got to run your heart when their game is on the line. I get it what you're saying that he wouldn't have made it, but you got to try.
You got to try.
It was third down. It was third down. It wasn't a fourth down. So it doesn't matter if he made it or not. You still have another try to get into the end zone. Fourth down, you have to try. You have to try all 4 times when it comes to the game on the line, and your fourth quarter under 2 minutes.
Definitely,
2 minutes.
Definitely.
So you have to play this. You have to. No matter, it'd be different if it was 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then I'd be like, okay, we shouldn't be making this big of a deal.
Right, but it was less than 2 minutes. You're down by 8. At least run it in or do something. Like, okay, if you get tackled before the goal line, at least you're a little bit closer to make a play. Like Brian said, get down inside your 5 on 4th down, 2-minute warning, and then put the ball in your player's hands. Basically,
exactly.
So honestly,
Adams and Jones.
Yeah, and honestly, he reminded me of Shane Falco from The Replacements. He pulled the Shane Falco. Basically, that's what he did. He pulled the Shane Falco. Like, I'm sitting here watching it. I'm like, at least run it in, at least get closer, because then now you have more flexibility in your playbook.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You have more flexibility. Not only did you not get any yards on 3rd down, now you're further out. So now the defense can pretty much spread their defense around, and now you have way tighter windows to try to throw the ball or whatever. So I mean, you know, Aaron Rodgers, he gets some of that donkey, but the coach gets some donkey too, because I don't know why the hell you would kick a field goal. I understand your defense was playing a lot better in the second half.
And like said, why would you go for 2 earlier in that game?
Yeah,
I understand that too. But I'm not going to put blame on that, because the dude should have caught the ball. Even though I don't care if it was tipped or not, the dude should have caught it. It was right there in his breadbasket. He should have caught that.
True.
But hindsight is 20/20. I understand that. But you don't kick no field goal, especially when you're trying to at least tie it. Because then if you kick the ball back, and then all of a sudden now you might not even get the ball back. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, people said going for 2 was a dumb call, but if old dude would have caught the ball, nobody would be saying that.
Yeah, but still, caught it or not, they're going for 2 that early in the game. There's no point. You have the whole. I think you had a whole second half to play when you went for the first 2. So why go at that time? You're down. I understand you want to cut the lead down, but get that easy one for that for sure 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
And then go and then let your defense get that stop and come back and score again. But now, because of that, it's a 2-possession game. Yeah. And when it came down to it, it became either a touchdown or a 2-possession game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not going
right here.
Yeah. I got 2 timeouts. Technically, you got 4 timeouts because you got the 2 minute. You got a 2 minute warning. So
you got this, and you didn't capitalize on those turnovers. That's the biggest part.
That's the biggest turnovers. 3 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? That man was looking like James Brady in the second half, and you couldn't capitalize, especially when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who we all think assume he's a great quarterback. He's probably one of the best.
I got something to say about that. So he's the greatest quarterback. Hold on, let me finish.
No, I'm just gonna say, Kevin, walk away from the computer screen.
No. He needs to hear this. He needs to hear this. So listen closely. What I'm about to say. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback to play in a regular season. And that's it. Because wasn't there a video of him saying we have to get one of these at home? Well, here's was a chance, and you blew it, kid. Ron.
Mm.
I mean, you can't really argue with that. I mean, he's 1-4 in NFC Championship games, and even I remember even beforehand when they played the Giants, I think, and they were 15-1, and he lost that game. I mean, like I said, he's a great quarterback. He will get a gold jacket going to the Hall of Fame, but the noise has definitely gotten loud as far as him getting over the hump. Granted, he won a Super Bowl in 2010, but that was like almost 10 years ago. So it's just like I said on my show with Sean the other night. You can't keep giving this man a pass. You can't keep giving this man a pass at all.
Was this his fourth time getting to the championship game or fifth time?
5. He's 1-4. He's 1-4.
1-4.
He's 1-4, and I mean, like I said, just like we ripped Brady and we ripped Breeze and we ripped Matt Ryan, you gotta give Aaron Rodgers some of this too. You got to. You can't keep giving this man a pass. He's like I said, he's a great quarterback, but you can't really argue with that because even Brian said he's 7-8 in his last playoff games. He's 1-4 in NFC Championship games. So I mean, until he proves that he can get a team over the hump, the noise is definitely deafening right now about him.
And and what Byron said, and this is like the Tom Brady rule would have came in effect for him. If he would have ran it and they would have touched him just the wrong way.
Definitely. There
you go.
I mean,
there you go. And we know Ron didn't call the game. Didn't call that last play. They could have went for it. But at the same time, Ron should have ran that motherfucking ball.
And then on top of that,
ran it.
And then on top of that, like I said, the second half, Jameis Brady threw 3 interceptions to your defense. You had 3 chances to get points. And when I have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, and you get the ball, because I remember there was a clip, Aaron Rodgers going down the defensive sideline, say, "Get the ball back," and the defense did the job. They got the ball back. Yes, they made. I don't know why the hell they ran a high deep safety, knowing Tom Brady was gonna go for the gusto. And then they go down 28-10. They go down 28-10, and basically everybody said it's over. Me personally, I still gave Green Bay a chance because, like I said, they're at home. You got that bad man playing back there, so I never counted Green Bay out. And then the defense started playing ball. They got 3 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, granted, they lost Aaron Jones for the remainder of the game, and that was a big piece of their offense. And I think they lost a offensive lineman, I think was gone or whatever. But you had 3 chances, 3 opportunities to put points on the board. Because like I said before, Green Bay dominated. If you want to look at it from my point of view, Green Bay dominated the game. I mean, yes, Tom Brady did Tom Brady things, but they were only down before that bomb in the second half. They were only down 14-10. And then the second half, Green Bay completely dominated that second half.
Yep.
But I do have to give a shout out to Todd Bowles. He called a hell of a game against a great quarterback. He had that, Tampa Bay's defense, that front 7 is vicious. I mean, Shaquille Barrett, JPP, Sue, all those guys, and then you got Devin White back there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like Devin White showed his ass the week before. He showed his ass again. I guess he feel like, okay, since you finna snub me from the Pro Bowl, I'm finna show out. I'm finna show up.
Now you don't even have to worry about it. He's playing in the other bowl. Yeah, I mean him and he was a matter of fact. Crazy story is that was Deion Jones when he played at LSU. That was the guy that was starting ahead of him was Devin White. Deion Jones was his backup. So that's the crazy part. So I mean, Tampa Bay has a great front 7. They have a good front 7, and like I said, Todd Bowles is a hell of a defensive coordinator. I know a lot of people say he should get another chance to be a head coach, but I think he's better suited to being the coordinator. I think a lot of people are not suited to be head coaches. I would love for him. I would love for him to get a head coaching job because you know how I feel about African American and coaching. So I mean, it was he called a hell of a matchup. So I mean, he called a hell of a game, especially against a great like Aaron Rodgers. He called a hell of, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, that Green Bay defense gave you what you wanted, which was 3 times to score. They turned the ball over 3 times. I think one play, Tom Brady just threw the ball up. And
Yeah.
it was a prayer. He just threw it up.
He did. I mean, the prayer
He's
went to the wrong
down
team.
somewhere.
Yeah, and Mike Evans looking. I'm
That's
looking around for the
exactly
ball.
how it looked.
Mike Evans looking around for the ball. I'm looking around for the ball, and the only person that knew where the ball was
It
Jair
was like,
Alexander.
and it went slow motion. The ball's still going. The ball's still
It was
going.
basically like in baseball. It was a fly out. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, but I really want, before I get to Kevin's comment, because I see it. Joe, we ain't gonna talk about this, Matt Ryan. We are not gonna let people throw bad shade. I know you ain't doing it, but we don't let bad shade.
Oh no.
Matt Ryan. I know he's a fan. I know he's a fan. I'm not saying. I know but I get what he's saying, because of course it always comes back on the quarterback. And
yeah, that's what it was saying. A can of corn. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
A can of corn.
Yeah,
go
but
ahead with
I can't. The loss with the plenty of blame going around, and I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Offense didn't make enough adjustments to protect Rodgers, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, and I get it, and I'm sorry, and that's why I told you to walk away from the computer. But your team, but someone said it earlier. This one, Green Bay was playing too conservative. This played a big part. This played a big part in it too, because not just from when you go for 2 in the first half. When I saw that, I said, "Oh, they're going to be on it."
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, I thought they were really going to come out like trying to throw the ball down defense, Tampa Bay's throat. And we got the opposite. In the second half, we got the opposite. Like, dude, your backup, Aaron Jones' backup, was it Williams? No.
Dylan.
No, Dylan. He was out there running his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like it was,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Aaron Jones is a great running back, but like I said,
it wasn't like it was
Dylan
like old LaShawn McCoy. You know what I'm saying?
Dylan was running that ball. Yeah.
Dylan was doing what he had to do to get that ball down the field, and they were just playing it. You got Tunyon. You had 2 great tight ends on that field that day, and Tunyon was the other one. Just happened to be on the NFC side, and it is Williams
too, and Dylan,
both of them, And Tunyon, your tight end is your tight end is they didn't use him enough in the second half, in my opinion.
I think the reason why is because that front seven of Tampa Bay was getting so much pressure on Rodgers. They were just trying to protect Rodgers, so that's why you see a lot of tight end throws. So I mean, I kind of give him that, but at the same time, it's like you had 3 opportunities to make a difference. I mean, 3 in it, like I said,
because it was a 5-point game.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't
time.
Like I said, Green Bay dominated that game. Like it wasn't like Tampa Bay was running away with it, but it wasn't like Green Bay. They were dominating, and it's like if you give a team like say Kansas City, 3 turnovers, it's going to be an easy day. That's what I'm saying. Like it's and I will say this, and I know a lot of people. I know I want to say about this call, and I know it's been a lot of controversy. There's been a lot of controversy about it because they was letting them play, and then you have a call that late in the game, that late of a flag. My opinion. This is strictly my opinion. It was the right call, but as a ref, would I've made it? I would have, but at the same time, if he wouldn't have, then I would be mad about it because the one thing the refs surprised the hell out of me. They let them guys play. They let them play that whole game.
I will say that game. I will say that game was way more played, way more. In that game, they let them play way harder than that AFC game. The AFC game, everything was getting flagged. Not this game.
They let them play. So was it the right call? Yes. Would have I made the call? Consider the fact that we let them play all day, I probably wouldn't, because that flag was late as hell. So But like I said, people said they shouldn't have made that call because it was the heat of the battle and it was the circumstances.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a judgmental call. You have to make that call. You have to, because it was kind of. I mean, he tugged the jersey, so you had to make it. So I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, they should have let him play." You know, I get that, and I kind of agree with that too, because I love, me, I love physicality. Wide receivers, the DBs going at it, physicality. I love that, but you had to make that call because it was like Phil said, it was blatant. So you have to make that call.
And I hear everybody saying they shouldn't make a call, but what if him holding that guy and somebody in the backfield intercepts that ball? That's an unfair advantage. Whether you like it or not, that's an unfair advantage. Now that the ref needs to be fined for throwing that flag so late. You saw it, everybody saw it. I knew it was pass interference.
He was dancing. He was dancing and did a circle before the flag.
Right, because I saw it, and I was looking. I was like, okay, they're not gonna throw the flag, but then they threw it, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of late.
It was late. It was late. But whether people like it or not, that was the right call.
It was the right call.
It was totally. It was blatant. I'm surprised it wasn't thrown soon as he took off from the line. You saw him had a hand on the jersey when he was at the line, damn near at the line. So I'm surprised it wasn't called sooner. It was a very late flag, but however, that was the right call made. Whether people like it or not, it is the right call. Even if you say let them play, it's still an unfair advantage. Because what if they go on to win that game? The first thing people say is you miss a holding pass interference call. And now that they called it, people saying they shouldn't have called it. And that's why I tell people the referees have the hardest job. Hardest job. And they take the most flack for everything.
Yeah, and they do.
I appreciate the referees, but I mean, they take so much heat.
Oh yeah.
Either way it would have went, someone would have complained about it. There was not going to be a clear-cut winner in that. But I told everybody, I was like, I told them, I said that flag would have came out so fast, everybody head would spin, because it was blatant. It wasn't no little like, oh, touch, little tic tac. No, you had a firm grip, and you not only that, you twist the jersey. It was in your hand, twisted. So you had every intent. He was gonna beat you. You knew it. Whether he would have caught the ball or not, we don't know. But he beat you, and you had to grab that jersey. And I'm like, how did the referee in the back called it? How you're on the side? How did the referee on the side not call that? It was blatantly in your face.
I think this was the same guy, and Kevin pointed it out. I think this is the same referee that let when Lazard got held on the Simberler play, and the ref didn't call a flag on that. I think it was the same ref. He was gonna let them play, but the back judge was like, "Nah, bro, you gotta put that flag out there." Because I saw that play with Lazard, and that was another blatant.
I saw that.
That was another one.
They even Troy and Joe even said it. Like, I think
I was looking for it. I was like,
they missed a hold on Lazard.
Yeah, like y'all not gonna call that. Like, I know he was wait. I know they say they give him a 5 minute. They gave him a 5-yard bubble, but he was like 7 yards down before he got held. So I mean,
even the last holding call, you could hear Troy and them saying, "Okay, where's the flag? Is the flag coming out?
Right.
Yep, there it is." And then someone they said, "There it is."
Right.
Like they knew it was a hold. So I'm like, at this point, and yes, they did let them play all the way through, and everybody. So that was the deciding factor in how they lost. No, it's not.
It's not.
Aaron Rodgers not deciding to run that goddamn ball was the deciding factor.
And the coach
was the deciding factor.
And the coach not going for it on fourth and goal. Like, dude, you got 2 minutes left.
I put it this way: they felt that they had Brady so real that he would throw another interception. But as I told people before, when the game is on the line and it's within those 2 minutes, he is the person that I want because he won't make those mistakes. And everybody was like, "Well, why didn't they go for it? Why did Brady just throw the ball out of bounds?" Because he didn't want to get out of field goal range. That's typical intelligence. That's intelligence.
Because at first I thought it was weird that he did that, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? That's why I said he's got it up here. He's got that right there.
I was watching it with other people. I was like, "What do you think he's going to do?" I said, "Oh, he's definitely going to throw this ball away." It was like, well, why not go for it? He don't want to risk getting out of field goal range.
Right.
He said he is I said he's been more methodical as he's gotten older with the way he plays. So I knew that was going to happen. Like I said, if Aaron Rodgers would have just ran, even if he didn't get the touchdown, you would have at least been at the 2. At least at the 2. It'd have been first and goal. You was at the 2-yard line.
Joseph, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that comment right there because that's what I was thinking. If you don't get on 4th down, the Bucks they're backed up. So I mean, yes, that's the comment right there.
And that's what I was thinking. You go for it regardless. But I would rather have Tom Brady at the 3 than the 30.
Yeah, the 30. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, and then that I understand everybody saying they should have went for it. They should have went for it, but in those heat of the moments, I believe that they were putting it on their defenses. Their defense did a hell of a job in the second half. Tom Brady threw 3 consecutive interceptions.
Jameis Brady.
Now, one was tapped, one was tipped, and
Mike Evans was the other one.
I told everybody, if you know that ball is no way for you to catch that ball, let it sail. Because the defender was nowhere in the defender wasn't going to catch that ball either. But you put your hands on it, you tipped it, you stopped the trajectory of where it was going, and it landed right in his hands. Let it go. You could have let it go. The other one, Brady was just trying to. He and Mike Evans had some miscommunication because Brady let it go as if, Mike is getting this. And then he just stopped short. He just stopped and then kept going, and then that was intercepted. Outside of that, the Buccaneers' offense was just they were going. They were going, and it seemed like even though he threw those interceptions, I told people a lot of you not. It just don't feel like they're going to lose this game. It just did not feel like they were going to lose that game, even with the 3 interceptions. I really wish Aaron would have ran because then it would have been a game. It would have been something. Like, okay, let's see what you do then. Then you think about it. Then you look at the 2-point conversion that they didn't capitalize on. Had the ball in his hand, he dropped it. And could have been a 2. That right there could have tied the game. That field goal would have tied the game.
Yeah. It was 5 points. Yeah, definitely.
The field goal would have tied the game. That 2-point conversion they missed, and then the field goal that they did kick could have tied the game. But like I said, we're not in those coaches' heads. We're not in those huddles. We don't know what they're thinking all the time. But in those heat of the moments, you gotta I wouldn't say job or career, but the biggest game is on the line right now. I'm gonna take that chance.
Try to tell you, man.
If it's 4-2, I'm like, hey, we got to draw up a play. Somebody better get this ball past these 2-yard line. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't care if the center tricks everybody and keeps the ball for himself and keeps running. Somebody better get past the 2. Somebody better get 2 or more yards.
Right.
But at that, like I said, at that point, that's what happened. The flag, though it was late, everybody said somebody said it was controversial. Someone said it was controversial. To me, it's not controversial. It's just the right call. I really wish games like that are played more often. Let them play.
Let them play. Yeah.
And I told Dre, as we were talking the other day, I told people, I said, I don't give a damn whether you want to blame Aaron Rodgers or not. We keep calling him that man. How long can we keep calling him that?
And you know what? That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say because Boom said that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback in the regular season. So, do you agree with that?
We got another Peyton Manning on our hands.
Oh wow!
That's a better Peyton Manning on our hands.
Hey,
that's what we have.
Phil, next time you say it, you got to do this. You got to clap at them. You got another Peyton Manning in your hands.
It really is because I'm looking at all your attributes, what you can do on the field, the weapons that you now have, because all before you didn't have the weapons that you have now, and you have all that. and you let a suspect Buccaneer defense come in and completely shut you down in your home in the first half, that cannot happen if you are the man like they call you. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I think he's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he's one of the greatest. I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen in our time. But I can't keep calling you the man if the man can't get back to the big dance time and time again. I give you credit. You have won. You have won.
Yeah.
How long can we keep calling you the man if you can't get back?
You can't keep giving them a pass. Like we give all these other quarterbacks grief. He got to get some of them too. And then, like somebody pointed out earlier, he's 7-8 in playoff games, and he's 1-4 now in NFC Championship games. So you can't keep giving this man a pass.
And this one was at your home.
The first time he had an NFC Championship game at home, like you had it. It was there. You're 13-3. You're number one in the NFC. It was served on a platter for you.
I'm used to the Aaron Rodgers I saw in the first half was not the Aaron Rodgers, not the confident Aaron Rodgers I saw all season. It was like he was just lacking. He was just missing something. And then the second half came, and I'm like, there he is. That's what we need to see. But I told people, I said, it's too late. They said, you saying it's too late? You always say it's a second half play. I said, the way this is going, I said, the Buccaneers are not going to lose this game. I said, I have no other reason to believe they will lose this game because I said they're doing exactly what they wanted to do in the first half. They're stopping them from doing what they want to do right now. And it seems like the Buccaneers the Packers can't catch a break. Then Brady throws 3 interceptions. And with those 3 interceptions, you still did not capitalize on everything that you could have. So I said, at this point, there's no way that they lose this game. There was no way they were losing that game. It just didn't feel like it.
This is like the best comment. Green Bay was outcoached the first half, and they were poorly coached in the second half. And
That's why Matt LaFleur needs to get some of this donkey too, because his heart was full of Kool-Aid in that game. I don't know what the hell happened. It just seemed like he forgot who he had on his team as his quarterback. Like he seemed to forget that, like he when the moment got too bright, he blinked. That's what it was. And then, Bruce Arians, who I said he's another great one. He's another great quarterback whisperer because the way he did in Pittsburgh and Arizona, he's another one. So when the lights got bright, you saw Bruce Arians, do Bruce Arians things, and Matt LaFleur blinked. He really did. He blinked.
He did more than blink.
And then this coming up game.
Yeah, he went blind.
Yeah, this game for Tampa Bay, because we were talking about Kansas City, who they're getting back. My little sidekick over here. They're getting AB back, and that's going to make a big difference because he played really good last week.
Oh yeah,
and it made it. The pressure wasn't on Mike Evans, and the pressure wasn't on. Oh, now I can't even think of the other guy's name. Now why am I having Godwin? Thank you. Why did I have a moment?
And then
then you had
even old ass Gronkowski made a play.
Yeah,
a big play at that.
A big play.
Yeah, that was clutch.
A huge play, and then you had why am I going blank today?
Fournette
had a big play.
Fournette with his bad ankles and all. I mean, he was balling. That touchdown run he did. That was violent, angry, physical football run right there.
Yeah.
And we all said it. We all said whoever
Scotty
defense.
Miller, Scotty Miller. He was trying, but they needed AB. Even though people don't realize he makes that big of a difference, you can see he has actually made a difference that team since he's been there.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, Scotty Miller was a 6th-round pick, kind of like what Brady was, and he came to make the clutch plays and stuff like that. And Antonio Brown's coming back for Tampa Bay, which would be huge. But like I said, Kansas City is getting back Sammy Watkins, and they're getting back Le'Veon Bell. And the crazy thing about it is somebody pointed this out on Twitter. They said the funny thing about it is Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are both playing in the Super Bowl and not Ben Roethlisberger. That's crazy. So I'm happy for both of them to finally make it. I know Antonio Brown going through what he went through. He's going to a Super Bowl. Le'Veon Bell's going to a Super Bowl. So, I'm looking forward to the game. I know Kansas City. I know Kansas City beat them. I think week 10 or week 11 in Tampa Bay, but it's a whole different ball game. Yeah, it's a whole different ball game come Super Bowl time. But like I said before, it's going to be the old line versus the young line. It's going to be the GOAT versus the future GOAT. And I will say this, and I will say this about Tampa Bay. I don't know if their two starting safeties are going to play because I know Winfield didn't play this last game, and then they just lost Whitehead to a shoulder injury, so I don't even know how good he's going to be. And if I'm Carlton Davis, I would be trying to sleep because you got to see that man Tyreek Hill again. And remember the last time that Tyreek Hill faced you. So you might want to stop talking to Slant Boy and focus more on Tyreek Hill because the last time Tyreek Hill faced Tyreek Hill, you pretty much got burnt the whole entire game. I think he had almost 200 yards the first half. So yeah, I think Carlton Davis need to worry about Tyreek Hill more so than Michael Thomas because I know they had a Twitter beef going on right now, but he might want to worry about that. And Winfield will play, so that's good. That's good. But I don't know about Whitehead because I know he messed his shoulder up or whatever.
Here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna say it one more time. Though he may not win every time he's there, I'm not betting against Brady. I'm not betting against. And Joseph did say it in the comments. I can guarantee you he won't throw 3 interceptions back to back. I can guarantee that. Not in the Super Bowl. Not in the Super Bowl. He won't. We're talking about somebody who's been here before. Not in the Super Bowl. He won't. And for everybody saying, well, Tyreek Hill he's as dynamic as he is. Let's put it this way. For them to have him and the way he was cooking them, they only lost by 3 points.
Lost by 3. It's going to be a close game. I said it. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close game.
Dare I say, we all said it was going to be a young lion versus an old lion. But I really didn't. At the first beginning of the season, I really didn't expect the old lion to be 43 years of age back in the Super Bowl. That's what I didn't expect. 43 years of age.
Hey, man.
43.
Hey, I do have to say, Phil, you called a score last weekend. Last week.
I need to play. Let me tell you something. If I tell you, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I need to start playing the lottery. And then I call out the numbers, and it was the exact numbers for pick 3. Yep. And I didn't play those numbers. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to start playing the lottery.
I feel some type of way because I've been asking for lottery numbers for over a year now. Just throwing that up there.
Right.
It's
crazy. But I will say this about, and we all know about Tom Brady. We all know it. And I as much as I hate to admit this because I think Dan Marino will always be the GOAT in my eyes. I think Tom Brady, he's the undisputed GOAT. He's 10 Super Bowls. Somebody said that they should just name the Super Bowl the Tom Brady Invitational because basically he's like LeBron James. He's always going to be there. And I will say this. We all talk about how great Tom Brady is, and rightfully so. But the other guy on the other side playing for the Chiefs, he's been there too. And he's played, he didn't really have a good game the last Super Bowl, but he's been there. And he knows the pressure that he has, especially now. I know he knows the pressure is on because he's going against the best.
Sorry, Joe, but that line's taken.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's going against the best. And then I know Jason said something about Tampa Bay's defense, and I get that. Tampa Bay has a good defense, but he played against a hell of a defense last year, Super Bowl in the 49ers. 49ers had a way better defense than Tampa Bay does. And like I said, Pat Mahomes has been there. He's been there. The only difference is
and they came back and won.
But the difference is the Chiefs are not facing a Jimmy Garoppolo. They're facing Tom Brady. So it's a big difference between Jimmy Garoppolo and Tom Brady. So like I said, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. But I've said it since the beginning, since the season started. I picked the Chiefs to repeat, and that's who I'm sticking with. I'm sticking with the Chiefs. They're going to repeat. Yeah, I mean, between Tom Brady and LeBron James, they're pretty much the same. Like, I mean, they're like it's all on Twitter. Like, all I could do is respect it, pretty much. You can't really take nothing away from Tom Brady because it's hard. It's hard to win a championship and go to the Super Bowl, but to go 10 times in a game like football, you can't take nothing away from that.
I'll ask you this: his 10th time in the Super Bowl, correct?
Mm-hmm.
6 championships, 60% clip. He goes and wins. He goes and wins. If he goes and wins this Sunday, well, not excuse me, in February the 7th, he goes and wins another. I'm gonna say this, and I've said it already that the defense rests on my end. We're gonna revisit this question: who needed who more? Did Belichick need Brady, or did Brady need Belichick? Because Brady's back in the Super Bowl once again.
You know what?
I said the same thing. Well, when you watched the game.
Yeah, I said Brady needed Belichick more, but after what I've seen, my answer is I could admit when I'm wrong. I could admit when I'm wrong. So I mean, it is what it is. So if he does win in February, there's no question he's the undisputed GOAT. But on the flip side, I want to ask you guys this and everybody else in the comments: if Pat Mahomes beats Tom Brady and he goes back to back and he wins Super Bowl MVP, where does that put Mahomes? I know it's too early to call.
Higher than
Aaron. It doesn't put him a legend. It doesn't put him a legend. It doesn't make him the greatest of all time.
Not right now.
He is special.
Makes him greater than Aaron.
He is special, but it doesn't make him the greatest of all time. I agree. Boom. I agree.
And Breeze.
I agree. But it doesn't make him a legend, and it doesn't make him a greatest of all time yet. He still has a whole hell of a lot in his career, and anything can happen. We have been here before where we have crowned these new quarterbacks something special, the future, and then some injury or something happens, and it sets them all back. So we've seen it with Carson Wentz. Everybody thought Carson Wentz was Mahomes a few years ago. Let's not forget about that. And that's just one thing that you never know what's going to happen. You never know. So I'm not crowning him anything.
And I agree.
Until it's done.
Hypothetically speaking, if he continues this trajectory where he's going and he beats the greatest of all time, puts him in another notch on his belt, and his trajectory goes his career, the way he's going, no injuries, stays consistent. Will he eventually surpass Brady as being the greatest of all time if he keeps his trajectory going?
If he can get to the Super Bowl as many times as Brady and be as effective as Brady's been in these past 200 years, then yes.
Absolutely. Because like I said, it's hard to get to the Super Bowl, let alone 10. That's nuts. That's nuts. So as much as I hate to admit it because of what he did to us in Super Bowl 51, you can't take that from him. You can't take that from him. Like Sam said, they're going to eventually rename the Super Bowl trophy or the Super Bowl MVP the Tom Brady Award.
Yeah.
And while you're joking, they probably will. While y'all joking, they probably will. I
want to talk about this comment that Jason put up there. Tom isn't the greatest athlete of all time. He's the most accomplished quarterback of all time. And accomplished doesn't mean greatest. Do you agree with that again with Tom? Because I don't.
I agree.
I definitely do not.
I definitely agree because Tom Brady's not the greatest athlete, but
I don't disagree with the greatest athlete, but we're talking about quarterback wise.
Yeah, quarterback wise. Then not all quarterbacks are going to be great athletes.
I'm not going to say he's the best athlete because if you want to go by athletic ability, then who was better than Michael Vick and Cam Newton coming out of that backfield as quarterbacks? The speed, the power. They were great athletes. I'm not saying by far, Tom Brady is not the best athlete we've ever seen. We've seen many great athletes, but we haven't seen a quarterback dominate and do what he's done in a year-to-year basis. I don't remember one quarterback getting to the Super Bowl 10 times. I don't know one quarterback that has 6 championship rings with one franchise, and I don't want one quarterback who has more playoff victories than at least half of the NFL's teams. I don't recall one.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you want to go back even further, we talk about Michael Vick and Cam Newton. Let's go back even further. I think Sam or Jason pointed out Randall Cunningham. Let's talk about Randall Cunningham when Randall Cunningham was that mobile quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, Tom Brady has more playoff victories than all but 5 franchises. And then on top of that, this is another crazy stat that they pulled up on Twitter. They said Tom Brady has a better shot of making a Super Bowl than Steph Curry hitting a 3-pointer.
That's pushing it.
No,
I understand that it's true. It's a statistic and it's true. But damn it, that's pushing it. Now, I mean, y'all, they push. Like I said, social media pushes a lot of things. Now, come on, man.
But one thing I want to say against what Jason said, that he's not the greatest athlete. Okay, he's not the greatest athlete, but he is the greatest quarterback that has played the game.
Oh yeah.
You can't put his resume out there and not be impressed.
Yeah.
You can't look at what he has done and not be impressed. You may think, oh no, but he's a better quarterback. Yeah, he may be a better quarterback, but he's a better athlete. That's what you're pointing to. But for a quarterback to do what Tom has done, you can't deny that he's not the best that has done it.
And I think this receiving
is going back, to Joe Montana or Steve Young or John Elway. John Elway wasn't the greatest athlete either.
But he'll scramble his ass off, though.
Exactly.
He'll scramble his ass off.
Here's another thing, and people like to argue this. Tom Brady did a lot with a whole lot less. I think this team right here is his best receiving core he has ever had.
Somebody said that's the reason why he went to Tampa, because he was smart enough to know he's going to go to a team that's going to have him compete for another Super Bowl.
I understand he had Randy Moss and all that, but let's just be real.
Yeah.
I no disrespect to Wes Welker. No, all the disrespect to Wes Welker, because you're nowhere near the game now. But no disrespect to Julian Edelman. No disrespect to Randy Moss. This is the most complete offense I've seen him around in quite some time.
This is true.
And he's 43 years of age, threw for over 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns at 43. If that is not saying as much, if that is remarkable, because I swear, when we had this conversation before the season even started, a lot of you all said he would go maybe 8-8, maybe 7-9. It was just numbers because he's just got there.
I said 10-6 at the most.
I told them I think he would win 11 to 12 games. I said that 11 to 12. I think because that's how much respect and that's how much I saw of what he could do with this offense. But to do what I told y'all, I did not see a 4,000 plus yard season, and I didn't see 34 touchdowns. That's the most touchdowns he's thrown in quite some time. If you go back and look at his stats, that's the most in quite some time.
I think the last time he threw over 40 plus touchdowns was 2008 when he had Moss. That's when he broke the record.
And then that was broken by Peyton.
Hey Manny, yeah, right, yeah.
The regular season god, as I like to call him. But I marvel at it. And yes, I'm a New England fan. I hated to see him go, but yes, I give the man all the support. And yeah, I'll be rooting for him. Because to lose him and for him to want that 7th championship as bad as I know he wanted it, and he can finally get it, I think he rides off into the sunset if he wins this one. I think that's when he calls
even with the fact that he's got 1 year left on his contract, because he only signed a 2-year deal. You think he will?
He only
play
signed
that
a 2-year deal. I believe in his heart in those 2 years, he thinks he can get a championship in those 2 years.
I mean,
after these 2 years, I don't really think in his mind, even though he said he wants to play till he's 50, I think in his mind he knows it's about that time.
Yeah. And I want to point out this comment that Brian said about Mahomes. He said Mahomes is light years ahead of Cunningham at this stage of his career. I understand that. I know that Pat Mahomes has done way more than Randall Cunningham. I'm looking at talent-wise as far as the style of play and just being athletically gifted. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I know I'm not crazy. I know that Mahomes, like I said, Mahomes has done way more than 95% of the quarterbacks that they've done so far. You know, I mean, like I said, 3 straight AFC championship games, already got an MVP, already got a Super Bowl MVP, and it's going back to another Super Bowl. Like, I mean, it's crazy. And I think Joseph brought it up. This is the Super Bowl that people want to see. You got the GOAT and then you got the potential. Could be depending on how his career goes. You got the potential going
I
at it.
told
This is the Kobe.
everybody.
This is the Kobe and LeBron that we wanted to see. And speaking of LeBron, Tom Brady and LeBron kind of mirror each other. They both made 10 championships, and they always said that they couldn't do it in the other. So we all talked about how Tom Brady had it easy playing in the AFC East. He was always guaranteed to go to the playoffs. They said the same thing about LeBron in the East. Now they both go to different conferences. They face tougher competition. LeBron won a championship. Brady's going to the Super Bowl, so you gotta look at it. They're both mirroring each other. And I say MJ versus LeBron. I disagree. I disagree with that because Kobe and LeBron at the time were the guys. They had it hyped up that they wanted to be Kobe versus LeBron. Kobe did his part, and then LeBron, the Magic beat them. But this is kind of like what we want to see. Honestly, I wanted to be Mahomes versus Rodgers, but I'm not mad at a Mahomes Brady matchup at all. I'm not. This is kind of like Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, kind of to me.
Yeah, and then to me, I think this year it kind of changed for the NFL. AFC became more dominant this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Versus the NFC. Yeah. And like I was telling my mom, I was like, I like more team. Like I want to see more teams on the AFC side just because of the storyline. It wasn't so much I don't like the Chiefs, but the Browns storyline, the Bills storyline. You kind of want to see those teams that haven't been there in forever or never. Win one. To win one, and that's how Kansas City felt. It's the last time that they were there, last year. It was
exactly, Brian.
The last
exactly,
time.
Brian. This is what we wanted to see at NBA. We're getting it now in the NFL.
Yeah, and so now this year, like Brian just said, this year AFC has just changed.
Definitely.
And maybe it changed because I'm not saying the talent wise didn't go up. Talent wise went, but AFC it just swapped because the last few years it's been NFC this, NFC that, and then Patrick came. Tom was still kind of doing there, but kind of looking like, should he retire, Tom? I feel like
the same question that we had when LeBron was trying to start. LeBron was slowing down.
Yes.
He's messed around and won the championship. It's the same thing with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I swear.
and now he came over here and he just been reinvigorated because you were telling us. I remember you saying it like I don't think he's gonna, and you didn't say he wasn't gonna do well, but you just didn't expect, like you stated earlier, what he is doing now. Yeah. And if anyone comes to my face and tell me I expected him to do this, I call your bullshit.
I didn't think Tom, because the way that he left New England and the way he lost that playoff game in New England, I thought he was washed. Yeah. I thought it was over.
Everybody kept saying you feel your quarterback is washed. I said, let me tell you something. Yeah. I said time and time again, the years that you come and you say that he's washed, the next year he comes back in full force and he gets to the championship game. He gets to the Super Bowl and damn near has a chance to win. Yep. And everybody keeps saying it, and I just keep saying, I said, if I've been watching this man damn near all my life, watching him play damn near all my life, if I know for a fact, if no one else believes in Tom, Tom believes in Tom. And he just comes out and he plays.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that Mahomes is in there, and I give Mahomes all the credit in the world as a young guy doing what he's doing. He's going to have to watch out in the next few years. Not even the next few years. He better watch out next season because the AFC is coming and they're coming strong. This is not a formality that we're seeing this year. He's going to be put through the ringer and he's going to be facing some real stiff and tough competition because I told y'all the last 2 weeks ago, the AFC is coming.
Oh yeah.
He's not going to have a field day like Tom Brady had in the AFC. The AFC got stronger. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because Tom Brady left, but all of a sudden the AFC got real strong.
You know what? It's basically what happened when LeBron went to the West and the East got better. The East got, everything. It was parity. And also you have a bunch of young, great quarterbacks in the AFC. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got, I mean, even though Phil said, you know, he's not too hot. You got a Lamar Jackson. You got a Deshaun Watson. You got a Josh Allen. You got a Baker Mayfield. And dare I say, you got guys like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be, I mean, the Chiefs are going to be the cream of the crop in the AFC for years to come. But like you said, those other
comment right there.
Yeah, he's heading off a cliff.
It really is. Go ahead, Drake.
The only thing I'm gonna say is that those other quarterbacks are going to catch up eventually. And everybody says right now Mahomes doesn't have a rival in the AFC. And right now it's true. He doesn't have a rival. But I will say out of all the quarterbacks in that conference, I think that Josh Allen is the closest. I think he's the closest to being a rivalry game. I even put Baker Mayfield out there just because of what happened when they played in the divisional round. I even put Baker out there. Deshaun Watson. I don't know if he's going to the Jets, but he needs to get the hell out of Houston. That's what he needs to do. He needs to get the hell out.
He don't need to go to the Jets either.
Yeah, he needs to go.
I can drive him. I will drive him.
He needs to get the hell out of Houston. And honestly,
away from that racist owner, I got you.
And honestly, I said it Saturday on Sean's show on Hodgepodge. If I'm Houston, I'm entertaining offers because I think Miami offered two first round picks and Tua. I would definitely entertain it because, like I said before, they're over the salary cap. They don't have any first round picks, I think, for like the next 2 years or second
this year.
And they're over the cap. So if I'm Houston, I would definitely be entertaining offers to move Deshaun Watson because he doesn't want to play. He already said it. He said he don't care if you get Eric Bieniemy. He don't care if you get Leslie. He don't care. He wants out. And if I'm the owner, I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I could get from him because like I said, Deshaun Watson is a hell of a quarterback. I mean, he led the league in passing, and I think he didn't lead in touchdowns, but I think he was top 5 in touchdowns. Yes, he's a great one, but he needs to get the hell out of Houston. So, but go ahead, Phil. I know you're gonna say so. Go ahead.
Here's while we're talking about Deshaun. Here's the thing that got me. I was looking at ESPN, and it blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
He covered over 85% of their offense. That is unheard of. 85% of their offense from this season. Are you serious?
That's what happens.
Are you serious?
When you trade away your playmaker, your elite receiver. That was the first hail.
Are you serious?
That's crazy. That's nuts, man.
And this little kid here, man, I swear. I swear. But back to that, and it's hard to keep a straight face because you see him in the camera, he's grinning. It's real hard. But back to that Max Kellerman.
That's his game face, sorry.
But back to that Max Kellerman statement.
Yeah, fall off a cliff. Yeah, he said.
I didn't heard Max Kellerman say this about 15 years now.
Yes, he has.
And I don't see where that cliff at. Where's the cliff? I want to know where's the cliff? The cliff must be retirement when he just jumps in that pool.
I will say this. We say Father Time is undefeated, but I think Brady is one of the ones that's holding off Father Time right now.
You know what? If you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, if anybody ever watched Dragon Ball Z and see Master Roshi, and everybody was like, wonder why Master Roshi can't die. Remember the episode where he found the Fountain of Youth and then he just got old and he couldn't remember where it was? That's Tom Brady. He found the Fountain of Youth and he just don't remember where it is, so we can tell.
I was like, can he tell me? Because I'm trying to get that from my back.
I'm like, man.
You can't take it away from him. You can't. As much as people want to hate on Tom Brady, and I've given him some grief, you can't hate on what the man has done. You can't.
I tell people, let me tell you why people hate him. And I said this about LeBron, I said about MJ. And people hate what is damn near great and dominant. Because you can't beat them, you have to hate them and hope somebody else knocks them off. And that just shows the testament of your greatness and your legendary status. And I said this Super Bowl, I said this is the best quarterback of today's future versus the GOAT and a legend right now. This man is a living legend. And we got a future living legend if he could keep this up. So it is going to be spectacular to see, and I just feel like both teams are going to pull out all the stops. You're going to see things that you never saw before.
Definitely.
And
This is the
for
Super
some,
Bowl. This is the Super Bowl that everybody wanted to see. This is it.
I wish. Let's put it this way: if this Super Bowl, let me tell you what made it. Oh my God! Can you imagine if Tom Brady was 25 and Mahomes right now is 25 and they're in the Super Bowl right now? When I tell you this would be a gunslinging, we talking about 500 plus yards for both of them throwing.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. 25. If Tom Brady was 25 right now, going against Patrick Mahomes right now, this would be something. I tell everybody, I keep telling it, I keep saying it. I can't praise Brady enough for what he's done.
Yeah.
And how much let's be honest, you won't realize his greatness until he's gone. And that's the same thing I said about Michael Jordan, and that's going to be the same thing I say about LeBron, the same thing I say about Kevin Durant. As much grief as we give these guys, Kobe Bryant is another.
Kobe Bryant, yeah.
When they're gone, you're going to miss that because Lord knows, I told y'all, when Tim Duncan left, Dirk left, I was like, hey, this feels like the end of an era for me. This is the end of an era. And everything is coming full circle. And this is about to be this new style of basketball that I'm just not going to enjoy. And I really haven't watched basketball ever since. It's going to be the same thing when Tom leaves, Breeze leaves, Aaron leaves. It's going to be like, all right, this is the last dying breed of the quarterbacks that we know from them. And now we're going to have these quarterbacks like a Patrick Mahomes come in now. Because granted, he is the best quarterback right now in the league. I am not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah,
but I have to agree. I have to agree with Stephen A. Smith on this one. If you give Aaron Rodgers, Kelsey, and Hill, I'm pretty sure he can put the same numbers, if not more, than what Mahomes has. If you gave Aaron Rodgers those two weapons right there, those two weapons. Tom Brady, the same thing. I'm not denying what Mahomes has done. He's a great quarterback, but it makes your job a whole lot easier when you have Kelsey and Hill playing for you. Whole lot easier.
And also when you got a coach like Andy Reid that basically can develop you to be a great quarterback, that doesn't hurt. But like you said, that's why Tom Brady went to Tampa, because it was the best opportunity with the talent they had and with Bruce Arians, who's basically another version of See, that's what I want to see. Arians and Reed just kind of. I want to see that Reed versus Todd Bowles matchup, because that's going to be a chess match for your ass. I'm telling you.
And also, this comment, I feel like Phil on this. I haven't really watched it since Vince Carter retired.
And Joe
we watched here and there. We watched it here and there. But
yeah, Joe B said as well. You know what Cat Williams say about haters? If you don't got haters, you're not doing nothing right. If you ain't got no haters, you must be doing something. You're not doing nothing right. You know.
We just watched the Tiger documentary. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's on HBO Max. But they said it about him, and I feel like it's with all players. When you're doing great, they're all in your face, screaming Tiger, 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 Tiger. But then right when
it all falls out,
negative happens, something negative happens, and it could be something minor.
A speeding ticket and they on your ass.
Exactly.
Yep.
Tiger did, and I understand Tiger had mistresses, and he had, he's not the first person to have a mistress. He's not the last person that's going to have one.
He had holes.
He had holes in different area codes.
Area code. He took the HHS to a whole nother level.
Hey man, he, like I said, he and you know what? Honestly, I'm not going to knock
him for what he did, because, like I said, that's the nature of having a professional athlete. I'm not saying every professional athlete does it, but we know what gets thrown to them because they're a professional athlete.
Right. And a lot of busted challenges.
Yeah, and honestly, it don't even have to be something personal. It could be professional. Like I said, everybody rags on LeBron because he's 4-6 in the finals, but I mean, he won 4 championships, so it don't even have to be anything personal. People can hate on you for what you do in your respective sport.
I'm pretty sure somebody hating I'm vaping right now. It's going
Well,
it
it
happens.
wasn't.
It
It wasn't
happens.
IHOP. It was Bennigan's. It was a Bennigan's and Waffle House, wasn't it?
He had.
It was.
Hey
It
man,
was
look,
a
he had
Bennigan's. I
holes.
know Bennigan's, but yeah, it was.
He had
He
holes
had
in different
hoes
area codes. He took it
everywhere.
to a whole
He
different
had,
level.
oh, I'm
Took
telling
it to a whole different
Yeah,
level.
I'm telling you. They,
I bet you he played. He better been playing some Luda. I got hoes.
And then on top of that, when you're
He
worth
serious.
when you're worth $500 million, like you said, you get that stuff. You get shit like that.
And I
nah,
watched
and
Tiger. I watched him out in the club. I used to go to a Blue Martini that was actually not far from Windermere. So it was probably maybe 5-10 minutes from Windermere, and it was ladies' night. Martinis are half off, and I look up. Me and my friend look up. He's in their little bit of VIP section, and I felt like we were the only two that didn't run over there and see him. Like we happened to see him because we had to go to the bathroom, but they were left and right. They were running.
it's the
It's like-
difference between class and trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
and Joseph said it best. Folks worship these athletes, and therein lies
Yeah.
the problem. That's
Yep.
true.
And then that's the problem. Thank you. I'm glad that he said that because for the most part, I've said it for tons and tons of times. I don't idolize any one of these athletes. I give them their due diligence. I give them their respect. I don't idolize any one of them. And here's why. They are no different from me, except they have more money. Because I can guarantee you now, if you shoot me in my heart, you shoot him in his heart. He gonna die too. So
Right.
it does not mean anything. They just have more money, and that's the thing that's what people get. It pisses me off. They are allowed to make mistakes. There is nothing that I'm saying that Tiger did is right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not painting that message. He was wrong, dead to rights. You had a wife at home. You have children. He's dead to rights wrong. But at the same time,
That sounds personal, Sam.
Well,
Real.
Sam, see, this is what Sam.
Hey,
I thought with Sam offline.
this personal. This sounds personal.
I talked with Sam offline, and he used to work at the casinos in Vegas. He was and so he sees a lot of these celebrities. So the stories he tells me about these celebrities, man, I be cracking up, man.
Hey Sam,
Oh man.
the reason why you didn't get a tip is that you didn't have, a register
You
for
ain't-
to put it in to deposit. So
And you weren't blonde.
yeah,
And you ain't out here.
You were clear, right? Go ahead,
And
Phil.
you wasn't doing busted. You wasn't doing busted
doing
challenge.
busted challenge.
I'm pretty sure that's why you didn't get tipped. If you was out here blonde headed with a big caboose and some booze and doing the busted challenge, you got tipped.
there you
But,
go.
Oh my god.
But
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check
There I
that
say.
out. Definitely are. But go ahead, Phil.
I
But
can't.
there I say there are so many great athletes. They're gonna make mistakes. Even these other celebrities. When we saw Chris, look what happened to Chris Brown. Had every endorsement in the world, and then you go and bite Rihanna on the face or whatever you did to her, and you lost everything just about.
Bruh,
You lost
everything.
Look,
That made me think of he might have hit her because she said you can't dance. We don't know what they were arguing about.
oh my god,
Yeah,
I fell out.
I mean, it can happen within a blink of an eye, and look how long it look. Lord,
he's still getting grief for that. He's still
Michael
still getting
Vick.
grief.
Michael Vick. Yes, we know what he did, and he still catches grief to this day. So it seems like there's no redemption for these guys. And then
Especially
to me,
if you have a brown skin tone, because no one talks about Rapist Burger
At all.
twice.
Or the
Twice.
punter from New York that beat his wife for 20 years.
20 years. Well, hold on now. Now, I'm still like an asshole for saying it. Now, by now, 20 years of you beat my ass, at this point, you like it. Because there ain't no way you're going to beat my ass for 20 years. That's just not what's going to happen.
But
That's not what's going to happen.
It all goes back to what you said, Phil. When money is involved, people put up with that shit. I wouldn't put up with it personally. I don't care how much money you got. But some people put up with it because what he does.
Shit, after a while, Tina got tired of Ike. Tina got tired of Ike after a while.
Yeah.
He did.
I just let you know if your friend up there in the brown with the regional manager shirt, is missing, you already know he does.
What I
this
do?
thing.
That's what his name. That's what his name was.
Hey,
Like,
His name
I'm
was
just
his name was
Brown.
Josh
Yeah.
Brown. Josh Brown.
Josh
Yeah.
And
Brown.
Kevin also said something that no redemption. It's not because Michael
No.
Vick has done everything you possibly can.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Everything you possibly can, and he still gets grief.
Please put that comment back up. I have not seen that meme yet of the J. I have not seen that yet.
I'm saying, man.
Hey, y'all giving this man hell. It was cold out there. Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone.
It's 5 more minutes, and we finna change this subject. You finna see more. So just letting you know. But you know, it's really hard for any athlete with a brown skin tone. You know, like I actually had to fight for Vic because you know I'm a dog lover. Everybody knows I'm a dog lover, and I have dog lover friends. But
I
did
not know that.
And
I did not know that.
About what Brian said. Yeah, I had to find out. Yeah,
that's crazy. That is
At the
fucking
Pro Bowl?
Yep.
At a resort, at a Pro Bowl in Hawaii. You beat your wife's ass in Hawaii, bro. Come on, man. In Hawaii,
and they get a contract, and they get a
contract extension.
I bet he get ass one of them. I bet he get ass one of them coconuts. I know that's
Go ahead.
I will say the good thing when they found out he did not get a job after that. I will, you know, because nobody.
That's true.
If they didn't catch slack for it, I was going to give them slack for it because, like I said, you gave all this shit to Mike Vick, but Mike Vick has done everything. What I mean, everything he's given back,
everything he possibly could.
He's done speeches. He's talked to kids. He's done everything that you want
and beyond.
And y'all still giving him slack. I watch him on Sundays on Sundays because he's on there.
Right, and then on top of that, let's even talk Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
If we talk about Kaepernick, we're gonna be here for.
I'm just saying that's why we gotta move on. But I'm just saying, I'm putting that out there too as well. Colin
It
Kaepernick.
is a travesty. I'm telling you now. Let me tell you something. Had this not happened to Colin Kaepernick, we talking about a whole different Super Bowl, quarterback scene. Because I'm telling you now, if you want somebody to be his rival, Colin Kaepernick could have been Pat Mahomes' rival if this man was in the NFL still. And it's a shame that this is going on. And I'm glad that they put that up there. There is no redemption for black folks, it seems. And I'm not even going to say it seems. It's just not. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to see him give this man grief about an animal, but yet we're still killing people, human beings. You trying to tell me that a dog has more rights and love than I should have as a human being? Are you serious right now?
Thank you.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Like they say,
that shows you this world is very fucked up.
Phil, hold on. I want you to repeat what you said for the people in the back.
Can you turn your camera back on? You're stalking.
Yeah, because at first I was gonna say Jesus because I didn't know that voice that came from this time. I jumped for a little minute.
That is that part right there. What you just said.
We're talking about animals. Don't get me wrong. What he did was very wrong. But you're telling me that a dog has more sympathy, love, compassion. We care more about that than giving a human being, more importantly, a black man, a second chance at life, a second time to redeem himself, who's not been back in the media since that happened, has given everything that he has, and we're still out here doing the same thing. That shows you how bad this world is messed up, that a dog has more, that a dog will get more compassion, love, respect, and just than a person.
Vic is on Sunday night. I'm at the Sunday morning show before the NFL games at 10 here. And I watch him. He's with Tony Gonzalez. It's him. I forgot the girl's name. But they do a morning show together. And I like it. I really do like it. But this comment right here.
That one right there. That would have been, yes.
If Cap was still a Niner. Let's imagine Cap was still a Niner.
with that
And
team,
that
with that
would have been
team,
the Super Bowl. And with that team, that would have been Cap's team because they wouldn't have got
to Garoppolo.
they would have got him.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, he still would have probably been in New England. You know,
Yeah.
that would have changed a lot of things. But
Yeah,
imagine
that would have been a fire Super Bowl.
Yeah. Carissa Thompson, thank
Carissa
you.
Thompson,
See,
that's what it was.
you be on it. I love her.
Sam
too.
be on it, man. Sam been with us since day one. He been with us since day one, man.
Sam is my
Carissa
true
Thompson.
MVP.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
Carissa Thompson.
we're going ahead and move on.
We have one off. So I'm gonna pull us back in. I want predictions.
Bring it back.
I want predictions, gentlemen. Who is winning this?
I've said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. I'm keeping short, sweet. I picked the Chiefs to repeat, and I'm sticking with that prediction. I think it'll be 30-27 Chiefs.
Boom.
I think it's gonna be 46-43 overtime. Chiefs.
Phil.
Oh, Jesus, you said 46, 43. Those, them high school basketball numbers.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised though if because the way they throwing the ball, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's a high scoring game.
Overtime.
I really do. But go ahead, go ahead, Phil.
Well, as I said early on the show, I can't bet against Tom Brady. I'm probably going to be the only one that says Tom Brady will win the Super Bowl with the Bucks. Tom Brady will win the Super Bowl.
You can't go against Psycho Tom.
I'm pretty sure I'll probably be the only one to say this, but there's just something about this year and something about what he's doing this year. Just even though he's done it before, it's something about this year just special for him. And I think he caps it off with the 7th Super Bowl championship. Probably won't win MVP, but who the hell cares at this point? I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm not going to disrespect them and just say Tom Brady's name first. I'm sorry. I'm going with the Buccaneers. They seem like a complete team. I think they can definitely compete, and I think they definitely have the weapons to get it done to beat Kansas City. Kansas City is not unstoppable. If any quarterback that can, I'm not going to say Hank, but if any quarterback that can do something and may do a little bit more, I'm going to say Tom Brady because of his years there, his intelligence, and the way he handles a big game like this. I'm not picking against Tom Brady. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Buccaneers.
And considering the fact that the Chiefs lost their best offensive tackle, yeah, I can see that. I can't see that.
I've listened to both sides of the story, and I like the young Kermit the Frog that's in Kansas City.
Who likes to put ketchup on his steak?
Yeah, that likes to put ketchup on his steak. Yeah. Tom Brady, I'm not the biggest fan of his, but I do respect what he does.
Definitely.
And with that being said, I'm picking the Bucks 33-27.
So it's even. So me and Boom are picking the Chiefs.
I can't, even though he didn't play all that great, this is the Super Bowl. And
and Tom Brady loves to show when the lights are bright.
Tom Brady, just like how you said that God mode is activated with Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about
They call him Tom. They call him terrific Tom for a reason. They call him terrific Tom for a reason.
If he's God mode, then damn it, Tom Brady must be Ultra Instinct because it's just it's gonna be something to watch. I'm really looking forward to it. And Sam, honestly, as much as you say you jinxed them, you know by now it's the complete opposite. Who you want to really win doesn't always pan out to be that.
And then on top of that, honestly, before we move on, can you really be disappointed whoever wins? Can you be, unless you're a fan of either team? Unless you're a fan of either team, I understand it. But as an actual fan, are you really disappointed with the Super Bowl matchup? Like usually we'll get a Super Bowl matchup, like not really, like it's kind of like with the Patriots and the Eagles. Nobody really wants to watch.
Oh my God, that game we didn't watch it. We watched it for the commercials.
Yeah, but it turned out to be a pretty good game. But it was kind of it's not like a sexy pick like this. It's not a sexy pick. Like you can't really I can't be disappointed if Tom Brady wins. I can't be disappointed if Patrick Mahomes wins. This is the Super Bowl that everybody wanted to see. Like I said, this is basically Kobe versus LeBron. We're getting the old line versus the young line. You got the GOAT versus the potential future GOAT. So you can't really be disappointed with this matchup. And like Sam said earlier, storylines are bound in this whole up to the whole Super Bowl.
Oh, I think this is the biggest storyline Super Bowl we've had in quite some time.
Definitely.
This is magnitude storyline with this.
This is Tom Brady versus Eli almost storyline because no one saw Eli beating him.
First of all, let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. Ain't no Eli. Nobody saw them Giants defense doing what they did. I didn't see that happen. Not that juggernaut offense. I didn't. Not with that juggernaut offense.
And Joe B, you're absolutely right because the NFL is all about money, and this is gonna make them a lot of money.
Oh yeah, because this is gonna make up for not having.
I think we're forgetting this too. The Bucs haven't been in the Super Bowl since 2003.
And they're the first team to play it at home. At home, the first team in NFL history to play the Super Bowl at home. So the storyline.
If you don't get that blasphemous comment off this,
he's a Giants
Sam is like me. He is New York
elite Manny.
He's Giants. He's Yankees. He's the Knicks. He's New York, just like me with my Georgia teams. He is New York down, except that he hates the Jets. And he hates Brooklyn. So, but yeah, Sam is New York now already. So, but we're gonna go ahead and move on because we're almost running out of time.
We're gonna move on to this fight, and we're gonna move on to this fight, I have to pull out the memes. This is how he looked.
That's how I look when I. That's how I look when I take an edible. That's how I look.
Edible my ass. That's too much Hennessy and hypnotic mixed together. That's what that is. That's what that is.
That's that Benadryl kicked in.
That's
me after 10 minutes taking Benadryl.
Dustin cheated anyway. Because somebody should have checked them gloves. Because them gloves was laced with NyQuil. Because ain't no way you put me to sleep that fast. Ain't no way. But them gloves was laced with NyQuil. Oh man.
Oh my God. Man. What I say it all the time. The internet is undefeated. Infinity wins.
Undefeated.
Infinity wins, no losses.
One day, y'all gonna wish I had act right on the internet because they're gonna take it away from y'all. One day, y'all gonna wish I act right on the internet. When I saw the meme, oh my God, they did not stop. They had that meme, and then I turn around and LaDonna posts the one with Aaron Rodgers laying like Conor McGregor. I said, "Are you kidding me?" It wasn't even 20 minutes. They had lost the match, the game. It wasn't even 20 minutes.
It ain't no such thing as a cool off period on the internet. You gonna get these skippy paps. And
I bring it. If you want, somebody said, "I didn't know you was so petty." How do you not know that I'm this petty, especially when it comes to sports?
And Nate Robinson should send a fruit basket to Conor McGregor because they was on his ass when he got knocked out in his matchup. So if I'm Nate Robinson, I'm sending him a fruit basket because they was on him. Like
basket with the picture in it that you sleep.
If y'all missed Nate Robinson coming back to Twitter,
somebody say he finally woke up. Woke up.
Man, I fell out. But it was a good fight.
As a cool off period.
There was none. But this period and McGregor fight was good. The Chandler Mizzou made and Hooker fight, both upsets. There was a lot of upsets actually in this pay-per-view. There was a lot of upsets, but those are of course the two biggest that you're going to hear about.
The only thing I could say about it, I didn't watch the fight, but the only thing I could say about it is it's time for McGregor to hang it up. He doesn't look the same. He's not the same fighter he was when he was basically trying to rush shot over the UFC. I think it's time for him to hang it up. I think it's time for him to be done. He didn't look, from what I saw, from what LaDonna was telling me, he didn't look the same. He didn't have the same passion he had earlier. So,
and he took that drunk man walk too. Right when he got hit, he did that drunk man wobble. I already knew it was a wrap.
And I think at this point he needs to hang it up. I think he needs to retire. I think he's done. I think he's washed. I really think he's washed. Yeah. So
I agree.
Yeah. So,
but that's all I really wanted to say on that. I really didn't really want to talk about it that long. I just really wanted to think.
That's crazy.
What you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do is what we're not gonna do is talk about this Duke situation. That's what we not finna do because this still hurts. You know, we're big Duke fans, so what we're not finna do.
But it's true. I've never seen.
It's true.
They said the first time. This is the first time since 1961 that all three teams are unranked. Since 1961. That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy. So, but I don't have anything else to say about McGregor.
No, you're good. You're good. But I really wanted to go and just post this before we go into our parting shot. We forgot to bring this up. Hank Aaron, RIP to a legend. I'm very happy that the Braves are going to retire his number.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring it up. You know what you were going to ask. Do you think do you think the whole major league should retire his number?
Wait, well, that was my hard shot, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's my bad. I had to.
No, you good. You definitely good. I can see what you're going. I totally understand. I understand. Yeah. But go ahead. That was honestly that was my partner shot. I'm gonna kind of expound on that.
Yes.
As far as
you could talk about it more. I just wanted people to think about it. So you could elaborate how you feel and make a comment, so we can go into our parting shot because it is that time for somebody's nap or not nap bedtime.
Yeah, that's my part shot, so I can go ahead and go first then, since you already brought it up.
Go for it.
As far as the MLB community lost a great man, and I'm not talking about just his baseball accomplishments. I'm just talking about his accomplishments in general. Granted, we talk about Jackie Robinson, rightfully so, that he set the precedent as far as bringing African Americans into baseball. Hank Aaron is pretty much on the same level as Jackie Robinson, considering the fact that he played in Atlanta, which was, even though it's considered the black Mecca in the South, it was still a pretty much segregated and racist city. And consider the fact what he did in the community, I always say that Dominique and Deion Sanders created the black, for as far as black athletes in Atlanta. I always say Deion Sanders and Dominique Wilkins, because that's who I grew up with. I didn't have a chance to see Hank Aaron play. I only saw his highlights. But just the stories I heard about him because I had people that worked in the Braves organization. I had people that met this guy, and he's kind of like what Vince Carter was. Nobody had nothing bad to say about him. And I was watching the documentary today on MLB Network. They had a ceremony for him, and one story stuck out to me that kind of made me pause. When he was chasing Babe Ruth's home run record, and then he eventually broke it. And he went around base, and you saw the celebration, you saw the people running and stuff. His mom greeted him at home plate. Not she was not because she was congratulating him and hugging him. She was trying to shield him because there was a rumor going around that they was trying to assassinate him if he would have broke Babe Ruth's record. I didn't know that. That's crazy. You actually got people out there. And you saw it, these past couple of weeks with the Capitol riots and the whole 45 situation. I didn't know that. I didn't know that his mom was protecting him because she heard through the grapevine that somebody was trying to assassinate her son if he broke the record. That's nuts. And to see people making threats on his life because he's playing a game that was pretty much dominated by whites until they started bringing in That says a lot as a person, as a character, like the things that he put up with to be successful. And he wasn't a bad baseball player by any means. I still, as much as we say Barry Bonds is the home run king, the real home run king to me played in Atlanta. He played for the Braves. He's the real home run king to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't know if Barry Bonds cheated or not. I really don't care, because if anybody asks me who's the home run king, it's definitely Hammer and Hank. So, we lost a great man.
That's Barry Bonds' godfather, ain't he? Or was it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it is. So the MLB, I'm keeping it short. MLB lost a great man. The African American community lost a great man. And just to see what he went through, him and Jackie Robinson kind of blazed the trail for the Ken Griffey's and the Andre Dawsons and the Ronald Acuñas and the what's the name? I know LeBron's gonna beat my ass because I don't know the dude's name. The catcher from the Cardinals, your boy. Your boy. I don't even know his name. Is this? She probably gonna kick my ass later.
Yadier Molina.
Yachty.
Now,
So,
why did you do that?
even I know, and even Roberto Clemente were like, those guys. And it's Willie Mays' his godfather, not
Okay, Willie Mays. Okay. I forgot. I knew it was one of the greats. And I couldn't. My bad.
So he blazed the trail for guys like that to succeed at a sport that was dominated by white people. And then also for people like me, you, and Phil and Boom to do stuff like this, to do what we love, because he set the precedent. He the one who took on the bullets. He the one who took on all the anger and the bigotry and all that to make it easy for people like us to do something in our craft, to do something that we love. So much respect to Hank Aaron, man. I mean, rest in peace to a legend. I mean, like I said, I watched the ceremony today. You had John Smoltz there, you had Chipper Jones there, two Atlanta legends, the way they spoke highly of this man and how he helped them with their careers, and not just their careers, but their personal life as well. That says a lot. He was a great man, and I can't say nothing. Like, basically, he's like Dominique and Dion. He helped shape the sports culture in Atlanta.
Why is Sam so hostile today?
He doesn't like Barry Bonds.
Obviously.
He doesn't like. Look, man. Sam is, that's dude's been here since day one. But me and him had a conversation about Barry Bonds, because I said who was the better. I always say who was the better player, him or Ken Griffey. That's always been a debate. Who was the better player, him or Ken Griffey? And he went on a tangent about Barry Bonds. I was like, I guess I touched the nerve. So but that's all I gotta say about Hank Aaron. Rest in peace to a legend, and it is what it is. That's my part of shot.
I'll go next just because mine's really simple. I want to say again, congratulations to Washington. Well, I'm sorry. The no-name team for hiring a Black female assistant running back coach, Jennifer King. And
progress.
I always say this, and I've said it before, because you see the comments and you see how people come at females, or people come at you because they stated the race of a person. And I saw this one comment that stuck out to me, and it was great. They said, if you would hire African Americans and women more like you do white males, this wouldn't be a problem.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have, but there has to be somebody to pave the way. And she is the one that is paving the way. She played football too. She knows her stuff. But shout out to them for actually making her assistant coach. I think it's dope. I just wish there was another team, because then I would actually really root for her. But congrats to her. Men, like I stated before, if you've heard me say it, times are changing and we're coming. Women are coming for your male jobs when it comes to sports, and I am all for it.
Crush them egos, man. Crush them egos. That's all. That's my motto. Crush them egos. Crush them.
I forgot what game it was, but it was like the option was female announcers, and I changed it to female announcers, which nobody really likes them anyways. But I do like Michelle and the ladies' name that I'm just having a brain fart today.
And the crazy thing about it, a lot of people give Doris Burke grief, but I like Doris Burke.
I love Doris. I love Doris. I think Doris can go into a coaching job for the males right now and have them prime and ready. I think Doris knows her stuff. I love Doris Burke. I also love Carrie Champion as well. I wish ESPN would have kept her.
Jamel Hill's another one.
I even like Rachel Nichols, but because we are just talking about females, but I just love, every female announcer. I will listen to them majority if majority of the people don't like them or not because they're female. And I remember my sister-in-law saying, well, why can't you just change it back? And my husband's like, do you really think she's going to change it?
Yeah.
Do you really think she's going to change it?
The only thing I didn't like about that commentary is they were talking over each other.
Yeah.
Like one would start talking, and then the other one would cut her off and be a little bit louder, and then the other one would come in and do the same thing.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I didn't like about that. But
Mhm.
Doris Burke,
I love Doris Burke.
I'll listen to her all day.
I love Doris Burke. I love
I'll
her.
fight you. I will fight you. Linda Cohen was my other favorite, and I'll never forget. I used to work at Disney World, so I was on my off day, and she was shooting a commercial, and I saw her, and I'm just like, oh my god, is that Doris Burke? You know, I'm flipping out, because she's there, and nobody knew who she was because all they saw was Robinson. And
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking of, Sam. Ella Duncan's another one. I love her. I love Ella Duncan.
Yeah, but nobody knew who she was. But I saw her and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I love Doris, especially when she called NBA games. I love her commentary.
Right. If I can meet Doris, even the opportunity to meet Doris, I'm all for it.
Shoot, bring her on the show. Shit, bring her on the show.
I'm all for it.
Put it out there. Speaking into existence. Bring her on the show. She can give us.
Yeah, we bring it. We're gonna do a lot of things. We're gonna change a lot of things this year. But like I said, I just if you don't like it, then don't watch sports anymore. Because like I said, we're coming for all your jobs.
Crush them egos. That's all I'm saying. Crush them egos, man. Because like I said,
shout out to Becky Hammond as well. Shout out to Becky Hammond.
She needs a head coach job. She needs to get a head coach job somewhere.
Nancy Lieberman is another. Lieberman is another.
Yeah.
Don't set up for failure now.
Yeah. Like somebody's a Knicks fan.
Bingo. Yeah, I did too. Hubie Brown. She reminds me so much. Her and Hubie. I wish I could just have them if you could have had them together call a whole just let them call the finals, man. If I can have both of them call the finals during that time, oh man.
Hey, it's a male dominated industry, and like I said, crush them egos, women. You know me, I'm always supporting the women, especially black women. Definitely supporting them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a male dominated industry, and I'm sure they experience sexism and racism and any kind of ism out there. Anybody out there listening, any young man, any young woman that wants to jump into the business, crush them egos and don't apologize for doing it either.
Sarah Fuller caught stupid ass sexist stuff because she kicked in a college football game. First female to kick in a college football game. So imagine what they're doing, being commentary or on ESPN, being analysis, like analysts being, are you kidding me?
And the funny thing about it is most of those males that make those comments are probably fat and lazy and have never done shit like that. So never. That's the majority of the male population that makes those comments that have never done anything remotely active in their life.
Yep.
So crush them egos and don't apologize for it. I'm rooting for y'all.
Exactly. That's all I gotta say.
Sorry, who's next?
For people, I just want to start off by saying, for those who reached out to me over this past week, I really appreciate it. Last Thursday, I lost my grandmother, and I really do appreciate the support and love that I did receive from a lot of you all. I really do appreciate it. It really hasn't set in yet because I'm still doing the show today. And Dre and LaDon was like, "You sure you're gonna do the show?" Like,
yeah, I was like, "You sure you want to do it?" Because I totally understand if you didn't want to. Because
it hasn't set in really. It hasn't hit yet because it still doesn't seem real. But for those who really reached out and gave me your condolences, I really do appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. And that's why I was going to do a party shot about this because you just never know when it's your time. and
Right.
give people their roses while they can smell them. Give
Yes.
them their respect, due diligence, their love, the compassion while they're here, because you never know when it's going to be your time.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say I could drop tomorrow, God forbid, but you just never know. That's how short and precious life is. Give people their flowers, their roses while they can smell them. Give them their respect, the compassion, the love while they're here. Life is all about choices. It's all about making mistakes and learning from them. And I believe in second chances. And I'm here to tell people today, like right now, we got to get rid of that stigma of because you did something in the past, it should stick with you the rest of your life. People can be redeemed, and there are redemption stories all around the world. And we as people have to do a whole lot better in life and stop judging people so much to the fact that we give them no other option to stay the way they are. People don't change because sometimes people don't believe they can change.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in someone and show someone and put confidence in someone that they can do better, then maybe they can get somewhere. Maybe we can have a whole lot better situation than we have right now.
Definitely.
As I said earlier, we've got to stop this thing. We got to break this chain that we feel that everybody that has ever done something wrong in life is just a criminal, that they're not deserving of forgiveness, that they're not deserving of second chances. I sometimes myself are guilty because I'm like, oh man, you did this before, you're not going to change. I had to learn that everybody makes mistakes. Everybody should be afforded a second opportunity at life, no matter what it is. And once we can get past that and get to where we need to get to in life, if we can get there and start there, then the sky is the limit. But I do want to say thank you all for the love and support, and it really meant a lot. And that's just my parting shot. I just want everybody to stay safe, love each other, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the great work.
Before we move on to Boom, I also want to put out there condolences to Sapu Smith and his family. He passed away today, so condolences to him as well. He passed away from the coronavirus, so you know it's real out here. It really is. It's real out here. So just condolences to him as well. I watched his podcast. So yeah, like Phil said, give people their roses while they're still here, so they can smell them. Tomorrow ain't promised at all. So go ahead, Boom. I know you clean it up.
1 year ago, we got the saddest news about Kobe. Now think about that. 1 year. How fast did that year go by? How fast is this year going to go by? I mean, as older that we get, the faster the time is spinning for us. Because when we were in our teenage years, in our 20s, it almost looks like time was standing still. But we had all the time in the world. But now we're in the 30s, mid 30s, close to 40s. It just seems like it's just getting faster and faster. So you have to take the time, like Phil said, take the time and just slow down and appreciate everyone in your life. Your family, your friends, even the people that you haven't talked to in a while. Reach out to them like, hey, what's up? That's it. That's it. I did that the other night. I just reached out to a friend, be like, hey, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a while. So, and we just talked. We talked about something, and then went off our own way. So it's nothing is given, right? Everything is earned. So it's time. So just take the time and be great. Be Kobe. That's all I gotta say.
You want to say
All right.
something?
It's about time. It's about time for
He's
nip
back.
time. So go
Yeah,
ahead and clean up BFF so we can get on
Yeah,
out of
but
here.
thank you everybody for commenting, keeping us entertained. Because boy, these these
Oh,
comments,
that chat line was off between
these
Sam and
comments,
Brian
woo, and Joseph and
Joseph
Jason,
Joe
man,
and shout
y'all
out
got
to
me.
Jason. Jason
Hey,
was
we can't forget Kevin. We can't forget KG.
Kevin.
We cannot forget KG.
right. And the
KG is
thing
probably the most. He's probably the only Green Bay Packer fan I like truly respect. Like, there's a couple others, but like
others.
he isn't such as bad as the other ones. Whoa, Jesus!
Right.
But thank you all for commenting, listening.
Yes.
Sharing everything that you do for us, hanging in there with us. We're just a small show that likes to talk. Likes to talk sports and talk trash to each other. You saw we went on a tangent. We went to talk about one thing and we went down a whole nother slope.
Whole
And
other
then
rabbit
we
hole.
came back. But we came back. We came back.
That's how we do it.
This is why it's called the Red Cup Rants. This is what we do. We go on some rants. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Same place, same 4. I don't, hopefully, something interesting will happen.
We got 2 weeks to the Super Bowl.
We got 2 weeks, and we are doing a Super Bowl special.
We are doing the Super Bowl special as well. Tune in for that on Sunday.
No. Rephrase that. We're not doing a Super Bowl special. We're doing a Philip birthday special. That's the 7th is not about the Super Bowl. That is my birthday. We're doing a Philip Super Bowl.
I did mention that it was your birthday when you said you were coming back. I did mention it. I said that.
We will celebrate today. We will celebrate.
It's Philip Scott's Day, Super Bowl edition.
Philip Bowl Day. We'll figure it out. I'll come
do some ball head host shit for you real quick, bro. We're gonna do some ball head.
Oh, that's already coming. You ain't got to do that.
Not like Tiger Woods.
No.
We don't have the whole area
tone it down. We're gonna tone it.
No.
We're gonna tone it down a little bit. But like I said, but thank you for everything. We appreciate all of you, and I will put out the info about what we're gonna do for Super Bowl with who, what time. All I know is I'll probably be on the same spot on the couch unless I decide to go in the office. But yeah.
Be at home, man. I'll be at home. So
have a nice weekend and week. Peace.